Today we're taking a look at these NCAAF matches, which are happening on Wednesday, December 22nd, 2021, and giving you match breakdowns, betting tips and predictions in general on these games. Welcome back to High Stakes, let's get straight into it. Also, don't forget to subscribe to get notified as soon as we release these sport prediction videos, and if you would like more betting tips and predictions, then check out our Patreon in the link down below. Our new Patreon is a way for us to help you improve your chances of making more money. 5 plans are available for each and every one of you. You can get 30 extra betting picks all the way up to 500 extra betting picks per month. Stop wasting hours of your time searching for bad betting advice that ends up costing you a lot of money. Join the High Stakes Patreon now and get the best betting picks and advice. Missouri vs. Army. The Missouri offense is not particularly impressive in any statistical category save one. They average 5.1 yards per running attempt, ranking 24th in that category. The offense averages a solid 30 points a game, gains a little more than 400 yards, and is pretty balanced between the run and pass. 2 players lead the offense, QB Connor Bazelak, who has 2,540 passing yards, 230.9 yards per game, with a 65.2% completion percentage and 16 touchdowns and 11 interceptions, and running back Tyler Beatty has rushed for 1,612 yards on the season, while averaging 134.3 yards per game and scoring 14 touchdowns. He can catch the ball as well with 54 receptions this season, and he averages 27.5 receiving yards per game. The big difference between these teams, when you get right down to it, comes on the defensive side of the ball. Army has been good at shutting teams down, for the most part this season. The teams that put up big numbers against them this season, like Western Kentucky and Wake Forest, are explosive offensive teams that can do a ton of damage through the air. Bazelak had some success through the air, but the fact remains that the Tigers were more effective moving the ball on the ground with Beatty. Army has been stout against the run, holding opposing teams to 3.7 yards per carry and 111.8 yards per game on the ground. Our first betting advice is to pick Army Black Knights -6. On the season, the Black Knights are 128th, or third to last, in the nation in passing offense, with an average of 94.8 yards per contest, while they are second in rushing offense with 286.4 yards per game. Army is 26th in the FBS in scoring offense, with an average of 33.6 points per game, while they are 36th in scoring defense, by allowing an average of 22.3 points per contest. Christian Anderson is 28 of 59 for 653 yards plus 5 scores, while adding 586 yards and 7 scores on the ground. Jamel Jones, 7 of 13, 135 yards, TD, int, 124 rushing yards, TD, Jabari Laws, 17 of 20, 285 yards, 4 TD, and Tyler Tyler, 2 of 6, 65 yards, int, 478 rushing yards, 7 TD, have seen action under center as well. Tyrell Robinson, 57 carries, 560 yards, 3 TD, Jacoby Buchanan, 115 carries, 436 yards, 11 TD, and Anthony Atkins, 73 carries, 347 yards, 5 TD, have all seen a good amount of work in the run game. In the passing game, Isaiah Alston leads the team with 19 receptions for 419 yards plus 3 scores. Brahim Murphy, 5 receptions, 114 yards, 3 TD, and Robinson, 11 grabs, 298 yards, 3 TD, are the only other players with more than 100 receiving yards. Cole Talley is 41 of 43 on extra point attempts and 7 of 9 field goal attempts, with a long of 33 this year. Quinn Moretsky is 7 of 7 on extra points and hit his lone field goal attempt from 28 yards. Trey Grennett hit his lone extra point without attempting a field goal this season. The Tigers are 66th in the nation among the 130 FBS teams to take the field this season in passing offense, with 233.2 yards per game on the year, while they are 52nd in rushing offense, with 178.9 yards per contest. Missouri is 57th in the FBS in scoring offense, as they put up 29.7 points per game, and the team stands 116th in scoring defense, by limiting opposing teams to 34.7 points per contest. Connor Bazelak has completed 246 of 377 passes for 2,548 yards, with 16 touchdowns and 11 interceptions on the year. Tyler Macon, 9 of 17, 143 yards, TD, and Brady Cook, 19 of 24, 107 yards, TD, have seen limited work this season. Tyler Beatty is the lead back in the ground game, as he has 268 carries for 1,604 yards and 14 scores. Michael Cox, 18 carries, 150 yards, 2 scores, and Elijah Young, 24 carries, 87 yards, TD, are the secondary backs in the system. In the passing game, Keith Chisholm is second on the team with 36 catches for 447 yards and 2 scores. Our second betting advice is to pick over 54.